Hello everyone, I'm Erik Van Vulpen. I'm one of the founders of the Academy to Innovate HR. AIHR is the largest online educator of HR professionals worldwide, and we actually started off in the people analytics space very early on, and those were our first courses. So as the Academy, we have a very strong positioning when it comes to the people analytics space. And in the next couple of minutes, I'll talk you through three of the big programs that we have that focus on people analytics. On the one hand, focus on dashboarding, then on doing people analytics and data analysis in Excel and using the more basic tools, all the way to advanced people analytics using a program like R and R Studio. So that's for the next couple of minutes. Our first program when it comes to people analytics is what we call the HR Metrics and Dashboarding Certificate Program. This is a program of about 30 to 40 hours, so it's a long program with different courses in it. The first course is called Strategic HR Metrics, and it's very much focused on how do we measure the impact of HR policies and essentially see how they translate to business impact. So it's about measuring that causal chain between HR activities, HR outcomes, and then business impact and business outcomes. That is part of the Strategic HR Metrics program, which is about 18 lessons. Then we dive into the actual nitty-gritty of data analysis in Excel. We dive into the HR Data Analyst, where you start to apply some of the things you've learned in that metrics course and essentially analyze data in Excel. So you work with different extracts of HRIS systems and you try to answer different business questions based on that data. There's a couple of lessons on data integrity. How can we design our systems in a way that we make sure that in the future our data quality is high? There's 3 modules, about 9 lessons on data visualizations. How can we then report on our data to our different stakeholders and visualize it in a way that it is convincing, that it is appealing, and that it actually spurs action? And then we wrap it all up, this HR Metrics and Dashboarding program, with a capstone project focused on applying what you've learned in the program. So this is the first certificate program, very much focused on metrics and dashboarding, as the name says, HR Metrics and Dashboarding Certificate Program. Then the second program is what we call the People Analytics Certificate Program. So this is really focused on being an analyst yourself, or leading a team of analysts as an HR analytics leader. So in this certificate program, which is also around 40 hours of content, you start with the HR Analytics Leader course. And it essentially teaches you people analytics from a more strategic perspective. So what are business cases? How do you build that business case? How do you make sure that the projects, the people analytics projects that you run, that they actually make an impact? So it's that strategic vision on people analytics. We then dive into the nitty-gritty of data analysis, starting with statistics in HR. In the statistics course, you learn different ways of analyzing data, whether it's correlational, whether it's regression based, whether it's a chi-square, the different statistical methods to analyze, the most common statistical methods to analyze people data, you will essentially learn and master. And then you dive into the HR Data Analyst, which is a course of about 18 lessons, very much focused on applying what you've learned, but then doing it again in Excel. Again, what I already said, very much case-based, very much driven by, a stakeholder comes to you, has this question, here is your data set, go figure it out, and we will help you we'll guide you through that process. That is really where learning for us happens, when it becomes practical, when it is applied. So this is a similar course, the same course as was in the first program, the HR Metrics and Dashboarding program. The People Analytics Certificate program ends then with a capstone project where you again apply what you've learned in a practical setting. And then finally we have the course on data analysis in R, or we call it People Analytics in R. This is using R Studio, which is a much more advanced tool, and you learn different statistical models and you learn how to run them within R. This course is taught by Paul van der Laken, who is did a PhD in people analytics and is teaching this around the globe actually. And it very much focuses on how do you do the visualization and the analytics using advanced software like R. So if you're more, you want to go towards the data science route, then that is a good course. It is also a course with a very steep learning curve. It's shorter than the other courses. I think it's more in the neighborhood of 10 to 15 hours, but it is much more advanced. So if you're new to people analytics, I would much rather recommend the people analytics certificate program or the HR metrics and reporting or HR metrics and dashboarding certificate program, which are much more entry level. But if you really want to move into that data science capacity within HR, then people analytics in R may be a good third program. So these are some of the programs that we have on offer. You can also go for an all-you-can-learn package where you essentially get access to all programs, so that you can essentially pick and choose. But that, I think, provides a good overview of the programs that we have on offer here at the Academy to Innovate HR. So in order, first of all, we have the HR Metrics and Dashboarding Certificate Program, the People Analytics Certificate Program, and then the People Analytics in R, which is a single course. That's our overview of People Analytics education. Within the community, you'll also find a lot of post resources on metrics, on all kinds of very practical applications of People Analytics and evidence-based HR within the HR space. So you'll find the community to also be very helpful when it comes to upskilling yourself and all your team in People Analytics as well. That, I think, is the long and short of it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at support@aihr.com. So support@aihr.com. That's where we can answer all of your questions very rapidly. And I'm also very happy to connect on LinkedIn. As I said, my name is Erik Van Vulpen. Thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end, and wishing you a very, very good rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye bye.